a game that certainly ebbed and flowed as far as both teams were concerned, and despite being ahead by 24 points with 5 minutes to play in the second quarter, West Coast go on to drop their third home game this season and relinquish a chance to move into an equal top 4 position. Welcome to Eagle Review. Ben Roberts, I appreciate your company. What a horrific start it was to the game, giving up 4 straight to the Power, the road team. And despite that start, West Coast first goal coming through probably the halfway mark of the first quarter, we go on to lead at half-time. And it certainly gave the impression of fans that we're in for a treat. We had this team covered in all aspects, but it soon turned very pear-shaped after that.
Yeah, I don't know about covered in all aspects, but they certainly responded and wrestled back the momentum, which has been something that at times has been difficult to do. So that was good to get in front, and the second quarter was terrific until the last 5 minutes, as you're saying. Geez, I reckon those last 2 goals really cost them. And if you look at the stats in the first half and the second half, chalk and cheese. I mean, in terms of we wrestled back the time and forward half. Port, best team in the comp, time and forward half. They had it, then we got it back. 157 pressure acts in the first half, only 118 in the second half, so it just dropped away. We had 0 tackles in the forward 50 in the second half.
That's incredible.
Had 7 in the first half, so it just became a bit easier for them. They're very good going from defence to attack, so when you're not applying the pressure you need to, they're very, very dangerous. It was like 14 inside 50s to 37 in the second half. We're down 13 on contested possession, down 8 on clearances, 4 to 16 forward half turnovers. So that keeps it in terms of time and forward half. 18 inside 50s to 9 in the last quarter. They kicked 8 goals, we kicked 3. After the halftime spell, Port far too good.
What certainly did hurt was those 2 goals before halftime, as you mentioned. Nothing really going right in that last quarter as well. The Shara Wellingham goal review, just a frame in it in the end.
Oh, you know what's amazing? If the umpire had gone, my call is a goal, but I want to get it reviewed, not I believe it's touched, but I suppose good on him because he got it right. But if he'd said, I believe that's a goal, that wouldn't have been turned over, couldn't have been goal, who knows. But
same in cricket in the LBW, but then they had the Cripps fumble on the line. I reckon he fumbles about 1 out of every 30 of those, and that's, it was costly at the time. We've coughed up 3 games now this season at home in our last 6 weeks, where we've gone into that final quarter either up by a goal or 2 or down by under a goal. Just haven't been able to win and hang on against these quality top 8 teams.
Yeah, they're good teams, and I mean, the comp's bloody tight, and people, I think, even still, after all these results, don't fully understand how tight the comp is and how much anyone can beat anyone, and we're playing good teams. Giants, well, they're flag favourites. Melbourne, they're coming 5th. Port, 4th. They're all good sides. We were matched them for a lot of the day ahead, but couldn't finish off. So disappointing, and hopefully next time we can.
Great to see Scott Lycett running out, getting his season debut finally, round 16. So he's struggled a little bit. He's had his shoulder operation earlier this season and then the knee at the back end of last year. It's been, tough going for the big fella, and was outplayed on Ryder on the day, expectedly so. The All-Australian Ruckman of 2017, you'd have to think.
Yeah, Ryder's going unbelievably well this year, as he would be the All-Australian Ruckman, you have to say. He's in incredible form, and again yesterday, and actually last time we played him, probably got 3 Brownlow votes as well. First game back for Scotty. It's a new level of intensity from the Waffle. We played 4 games there. They battled away, certainly had their colours lowered yesterday, him and Vardy. He was in some form. P. Ryder.
Liam Duggan seems to have found a new home down back for the time being. Do you think it's a move that's there to stay, or do you think when you get the likes of Butler, Cole, Nelson at full fitness, you push him again back up to your wing midfield role?
Yeah, it's interesting. It's a bit like Yowie, you had him at half-back killing it, but you go, yeah, well, he's really good in the midfield too, and then forward at times. Duggo's certainly become a new player since he's gone to half-back, played a lot there at juniors. Knows how to get it done. It will be very interesting to see what they do in a couple of weeks.
Are you happy for this deliberate call to be paid against Matthew White in the final term?
Yeah, well, I think all anyone wants is consistency. I'm happy with that if that's going to be the standard going forward. If that's deemed deliberate, that's fine, but it's got to be like that all the time.
Because he is under pressure, but not at the beginning. So it's like, there was a moment you weren't under pressure, but now you are.
I think the umpire said not enough pressure.
Right.
It's one of those ones. As long as it's consistent, no one really cares.
Don't think I've seen a home ground bounce better than this one. It was almost like 40,000 people were blowing the ball out of bounds.
Willing at home.
If this cost you a game of footy, you'd be talking about it for weeks.
Remember the Momfries bounce? Remember that one in that showdown? Unbelievable scenes a couple of years ago.
And it's no grand final with Stephen Milne, but it's certainly copped as stiff a bounce you would think. Time for a few roasts now, so let's get straight into it. Brad Shepherd trying to evade Robbie Gray. Gee, that was poorly done. And then the 50-metre penalty resulting in the Power's first goal. But full credit to Robbie Gray here. He sucked Sheps in. He's done a little back pedal quick enough. So Robbie Gray just, setting Sheps up for a little bit of a roast there.
It's experience.
Jetta attempted to kick out to himself, bit of a fumble there, but beats his opponent in the end. It was no Schofield-like, but that is the next level of progression. So Jets just tidy that up, I think.
Yep. Domi Sheed, Paddy Ryder was on yesterday. If there's a man you want to just, move it on and don't try and take him on, probably him. Smashed. Lecker, just get that one out. Play the percentages. I'm a percentages man, but Lecker made it look a little bit silly there.
I thought Lecker had him coming. It was almost going to look silly for Pollock, and then it turned its head.
Yeah. How quickly things change.
Yes. Jets may be one of the best kicks in the team, and has dobbed one from outside 50 and gold the second time from a gaff 8-metre pass. And his celebrations are certainly on point. Had a bit of Ronaldo and LBJ, LeBron James yesterday.
Yeah.
But if you're going to have shots at goal from here, I'd probably work on them. That's going to go down as your all-time worst, I think.
I'm disappointed that Foxwood didn't get a replay of the LeBron one.
Well, I think they did, and they said, I got a great angle of him. The back of his head. Yeah, that was well played.
Yeah, absolutely was. Matt Priddis doesn't kick too many goals, and certainly doesn't kick too many absolute rip snorters goal of the week contenders. Disappointing. This could have been his best goal of his career.
Could have been one of his best celebrations of the year too, but had to hold that in and keep that in his pocket as well.
Duggo, great kick, not on this occasion. Next.
Did intercept it a minute later though, so he's happy to make the recovery.
Redeemed himself.
Exactly.
Totally redeemed yourself.
Exactly. Pollock, you'd think he'd learn once. He's tried to take on Elliot Yeo, got caught, handballed it into his face and said, you know what, I'll take him on again. Now that ended real badly for you. Yoey wrapping him up.
There's been a couple of guys trying to take guys on that probably shouldn't have, and if there's one bloke that you're going to try and fend off, it's not Matt Priddis. The best tackler in the history of the game, and you've tried to fend him off, young fella, and just a little reminder from Matt. I like that.
No, it wasn't. It was a bad day in all for Pal Pepper because he's taken out the roast all time. So he tried to line Yoey up, and hasn't he got him an absolute ripper too? But when you do the AC joint in the bump attempt and trying to be a hero on the members' wing, well, that's when you're going to get our roast. But in the end, you win the game and probably have the last laugh. So, well done, Sam.